Shalom, shalom, shalom. How you all doing today? Tonight, this evening. Palmetto Paratrooper, Chicken Farmer Plus. How you guys doing? Um, I just ate dinner. I'm ready to get into the word. Hope you guys are ready to get into the word too. Um, for anybody that watches this later, we did a giveaway on the last video. I didn't receive any emails. I do know how to contact two of the three winners, but I think it was Alyssa. Alyssa, if you're watching this, you need to email me at sanctifiedsupplyco@gmail.com so that I can know how to ship you your prizes. It was a sanctified mug and a pound of our sanctified blend coffee that's roasted by Moose Run Coffee. So please contact me so that I can get your prizes shipped to you. But anyways, yeah, I want to start doing more giveaways. I like doing it. I like getting products from people that have small businesses like Palmetto Paratrooper with his hot sauce. He makes amazing hot sauce, and in fact, I just finished off the bottle of honey jalapeno on my pizza this evening. Anyways, Chris Chapman, shalom. Yeah, it's been a hot minute. Thanks for being here, brother. Michelle Barber, shalom. Yeah, and the sriracha, I think the sriracha was my favorite out of the 3. But maybe not because the honey jalapeno was the first one to go, so that kinda says something. Which interestingly enough, I didn't think I liked the sweeter sauces much, but that one I just, like, couldn't put down. I would just, like, put it straight onto tortilla chips and everything, just continue eating that hot sauce. But I still got the better I've got half of the bottle. I think there's a habanero one. I'm not sure which one that one was, but the sriracha, I've got about half of that bottle too. Yeah, it wasn't very spicy, but it was absolutely delicious. So tell your wife good job on that. I am kind of a snob for spice. So I have this I think I already mentioned this, but I have this salt that I pulverized dried ghost pepper into this salt, and I really like putting that on like everything because it really doesn't change the flavor of whatever I'm eating. And for instance, like a bowl of chili or something, you don't always want to put some hot sauce, especially if it's like vinegar based. It'll really change the flavor of your chili, but this, it just, man, I put it on spaghetti. I put everything spicy. I would just make everything spicy. I love it. Oh no, your truck stopped in Mardi Gras in New Orleans. That's not a good spot to get stopped. Oh yeah, ghost pepper salt on a steak. I'm telling you, I put it on everything. It's in fact, I was looking because I didn't put all the ghost pepper into the salt. I had like a bag full of dehydrated ghost peppers. Um, and I used a good portion of them, and I hit them with the mortar and pestle, pulverized them into a nice fine powder. Well, it wasn't that fine. Some of the membrane and the seeds didn't really grind that fine, but anyways, it worked out really, really good. Have you tried Mexican coffee? The only Mexican coffee that I tried was that coffee that I got from Costco, and I threw it away as soon as yours arrived. So I've tried it, but wasn't impressed. I'm sure that there's some good stuff, and I bet it was just not fresh, but I don't know. It was better than, like, the average coffee, but it wasn't I know I may be biased because I love Moose and wanna support his business, but genuinely, Moose Run Coffee doesn't like, nothing compares to it. So, like, it's really easy to promote that coffee, and it's not easy to switch once you start drinking it. Spicy coffee, is that what you're getting at? Yes, it has cayenne pepper. No, but I have had a Mexican mocha from a coffee shop that was near my house when we lived in Oregon, and, it had a little bit of a spice. It wasn't maybe that's what they were using was a little bit of cayenne mixed in with some cocoa powder or something. Oh, yeah. Got your first couple bags of Moose Run today. You're not gonna regret that decision. That'll clear congestion. Yeah, I had to resort to taking some I don't even know what it's called, but I had to get it over the counter. So it's probably straight up sorcery. No, I don't know. I hope not, but it did help my nose clear up. I've been desperate every time I eat. I'm like suffocating myself, and it's mostly in the evening. Is anybody else having that issue in the evening? It's been almost 3 months for me now. So, um, congestion in the evening, especially when I lay down. I know that when you lay down, it increases blood flow to your head, which can exasperate inflammation in the sinuses, but that's not really an explanation why this has been going on for 3 months. I've been on the elderberry syrup, garlic, lots of water. Yeah, yeah, I agree, country dad. I was kind of being a little bit facetious because I know that you reach for an ibuprofen and everybody wants to stone you. I'm not there yet as far as that stuff goes. When I have inflammation, or like a splitting headache, ibuprofen seems to help my headache, and so hopefully that's not like seriously uh bad. I don't know. But anyways, put a dab of Carolina Reaper sauce on your finger and put it back to the roof of your mouth to be able to breathe. I literally last night was having such a hard time breathing that I came out here and there was Lucia made beef stroganoff last night and it was amazing by the way. And I was putting the yeah, I was putting the ghost pepper salt on it and that was helping a lot. And I would just dump like an excessive amount more than I would actually enjoy. But I was just lighting up my palate with some heat, trying to clear up the sinuses last night before bed. Yeah, I think that that's a good way to go, Chicken Farmer Plus. Do everything in your power not to take meds for anything short of surgical procedures. I actually agree with that. I I don't take I don't take ibuprofen for my back pain anymore. I've got severe back pain in my lower back. Have for I don't know, maybe 10 years now at least. Um, I've seen chiropractors. I've had many X-rays, and I've got the little boot things I put over my feet so I can hang upside down and decompress my spine. And I've got all kinds of stuff. I've tried everything for my back. Um, but I find that the more active I am while being extremely careful to not injure my back, the more success I have with avoiding, painful spells. Like my back always hurts, but sometimes it's like it goes out or whatever, and then I'm pretty much bedridden for a day or 2, and then walking on eggshells for the rest of the week. But anyways, enough about all that. Hot showers soften the mucus. Yeah, yeah, I've done all the household remedies, everything I can think of. And I've been searching. I'm looking for naturopathic explanations, or not explanations, but like, how do you? I think they're dropping it out of the sky. I really do. They've been putting the chemtrails straight over my house recently. I know they're not targeting me specifically. That would be a very narcissistic thing to think of. But they're putting it over everybody, and I think it's whatever's in the air. I really do. I think it also might have something to do with the fumes from screen printing. When you screen print, and I do a good job of ventilating the room that I screen print in, but when you screen print, it's plastisol, it's a polymer or oil based ink, and so it does put off some pretty nasty fumes, um, and that could be irritating my respiratory tract. Environmental can be ruled out by taking a trip away from normal life. Yeah, well, I think that it's everywhere, and I think that, they're spraying it everywhere. You'd have to go a long way away to get away from the stuff they're spraying in the sky. Yeah. Um, with the coffee exhaust. Oh, I imagine so. And it's not like short-term exposure that'll get you. It's like that accumulative exposure where you've been doing it for a year or 2, and, just kinda catches up to you, you know? So, it probably has a lot to do with screen printing. A lot of people that do screen printing, um, will actually wear a respirator. I bought a respirator, but anybody that has worn a respirator for a long period of time knows that it is very uncomfortable, and, it's hard to it's hard to get used to it. Put a canning pot on a turkey fryer and turn the whole bathroom into a sauna while I was in the bath. Nice. You have issues with your eyes when they spray? Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. And I was just thinking about what a and I mean, most people would probably label me a conspiracy theorist, but the fact is there is conspiracy. There's a depopulation agenda. Um, they want us all gone, man. They just do. It's not even a secret. They had it written on the Georgia Guidestones. They have it written in letters by like Albert Pike, and they have it written all over the place, man. It's not a secret. They're talking about it. Just listen to Bill Gates talk. They need to depopulate the earth, so they say, and they want to cut it way back. Um, so what a better way, than to have um this sword that cuts both ways. They put some stuff in the cloud that causes everybody to feel sick or congested or whatever, you name it. A variety of different, um, you know, uh, what do you call it? Like, effects. A variety of different effects can happen, and then you got people taking these decongestants, taking their cough medicine, poisoning themselves even further. Um, it's just the way it is. But yeah, I'm not trying to continue poisoning myself. I was just thinking about that today. Obviously, I'm feeling a little bit convicted about taking the decongestant stuff. I know better, and I feel like I've compromised in order to just breathe through my nose because it gets, man, it really gets difficult to deal with. But it's that, like, death by a thousand cuts, you don't even know how much more damage these things are doing when they enter into your system. You get the instant temporary relief for the long-term effects of the poison. Yeah, they're openly telling us it's not a secret. It's not a se and that's why I don't think that it's a I'm not monetized on this channel or anything anyways. I don't want this channel to be taken down. I think that it's great that I am building a platform where I can reach people. So I'd like this channel to not get struck and taken down, but I'm just saying what's already public information. I'm not coming up with any crazy conspiracies or anything. And also, if this channel goes away, that's what happens. I'm not gonna censor myself. Um, that seems like a cowardice thing to do. And if you don't have a line in the sand, then you'll compromise even more later when people are asking you to deny your Messiah or something like that. And you're gonna speak truth in the face of getting your channel taken down. If you can't do that, then you won't speak truth in the face of a sword. You know what I mean? But anyways, we got 13 people in here. Thanks for being here. We'll go ahead and give you what you came to see. I don't know why I just went on a rant, but there we go. We talked about chemtrails and pharmakia and depopulation. Lots of buzzwords here. If ever my channel was gonna get noticed by the YouTube overlords, this one should make the list. So off to a good start. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and we'll put the word up. We're in Genesis chapter 4. If you're following along, go grab your Bible. I'm reading out of the Scriptures copy of the Bible, or the Scriptures version, which it has been brought to my attention. Thank you, brother JS Genesis. That there are some issues that I have with this translation. Um, while I don't think there are any perfect translations, I think it is a big problem when you take entire verses out of the Bible, even if it is kind of a heading. There's some scriptures, especially in Psalms, where it takes out the part where, and it was probably added to begin with. So it might have been the reason they took it out. I really haven't dove deep into that, but the TS 2009 version of the scriptures at least has the beginning parts of some of the Psalms taken out where it says a psalm of David to the chief musician, so on and so forth. Can't remember, but it has that over and over and over. Every time it says that, it takes it out. And I can only imagine that they justified doing that by coming to the conclusion that that was added later and that it wasn't actually like David didn't write a psalm of David to the chief musician. But I find that they could have left it in there and then maybe put a note next to it or something, says this is probably added later. I don't know. That's just something to point out. And I'm not throwing my Bible away. I like the way that this Bible reads, but I am going to start exploring other translations after we finish this entire Bible series. So, um, and we can have an open discussion about Bible translations. I need to start writing down all these video ideas. I know that there's a lot of things that we can talk about. We got the two witnesses, JS Genesis Designs and Moose Run Coffee, and myself are going to have some sort of panel discussion about the two witnesses. That's going to be a fun video. I'm not sure that we'll do it as a live stream. We might. We'll have to talk about that. But that is going to be a video that we do. I think it'll be good. And other video topics. In fact, if you guys want to put in the chat what would be some biblical video topics, study topics that we could dive into. I would love to continue bringing guests on the channel, you guys and included, and discuss this stuff. We'll have some serious iron sharpens iron time. I don't want this to just be like, I don't want to give my opinions without having somebody to challenge them. I really value that, and I really appreciate JS Genesis Designs bringing that to my attention about the translations, because when you love someone, you tell them the truth, even though it's not like a slight to be like, "Hey, you heretic, why are you reading this translation?" Because I think it's a good translation. There's probably a reason they took those out. But anyways, JS Genesis says, I like it as well. And comparing the different versions is actually being a good Berean. I agree. No translation is perfect. Well said. Yeah, that's exactly why I want to do that. I want to bust out the concordance. I want to go deep. I don't want to just glaze over how much gold is sitting right in front of us when we read the Bible. I think it's a shame to just rush through and not kind of meditate on some of the things that are really profound, especially when there is a foreshadow um or something alluding to our Messiah, and he's all throughout the scriptures. And I think that when we look for him in the scriptures is when you get the most out of them, personally. But let's go ahead. Chapter 4 of Genesis. Real quick, guys, give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate it. We're going to get into the reading now. Genesis chapter 4, verse 1. And Adam knew Hawa, which is apparently how you say Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain and said, I have gained a man, Yahweh. And again, she gave birth to his brother, Abel. I'm going to say Cain and Abel instead of trying to say Hebel. And Abel became a keeper of sheep, and Cain became a tiller of the ground. And it came to be in the course of time that Cain brought an offering of the first of the fruit of the ground to Yahweh. And Abel also brought the firstborn of his flock and of their fat. And Yahweh looked at Abel and his offering, but he did not look to Cain and his offering. And Cain was very wroth and fell on his and his face fell. I almost said, and he fell on his face. That would have been probably a good thing if he had done that. And Yahweh said to Cain, why is he wroth towards you? And why is your face fallen? Why is he wroth towards you? And why is your face fallen? Is it not if you do good, you are to be accepted? And if you are not, and if you do not do good, toward, sorry, toward the door is a sin. He is lying, and towards you is his desire, and you must rule over him. That was very choppy. Let me read that verse again. My apologies. Is it not if you do good, you are to be accepted? And if you do not do good, toward the door is a sin. He is lying, and towards you is his desire, and you must rule over him. And Cain told Abel his brother, and it came to be when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and killed him. What does the word say? Where there is envy and strife, there is every form of wickedness. I believe that is the root of why this took place. There was envy at that time, and it rooted bitterness in him, and he killed his brother. Verse 9, and Yahweh said to Cain, where is Abel your brother? And he said, I do not know. Am I my brother's guard? And he said, what have you done? And the voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. And how are you? And now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. If you till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. You shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth. And Cain said to Yahweh, my punishment is too great to bear. See, you have driven me from the face of the ground today, and I am hidden from your face. I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth, and it shall be that anyone who finds me kills me. And Yahweh said to him, well, if anyone kills Cain, vengeance is taken on him sevenfold. And Yahweh set up a sign for Cain, lest anyone finding him strikes him. So, sorry, I will try not to do that in the microphone. So Cain went out from the presence of Yahweh and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Hanok. And he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Hanok. Do any of you guys know that there is more than one Enoch? That's an interesting thing. Verse 18, and Hanok was born, and to Hanok was born Irad, and Irad brought forth Mehujael, and Mehujael brought forth Methusael, and Methusael brought forth Lamech. And Lamech took for himself two wives. The name of one was Ada, and the name of the second was Silla. And Ada bore Jabal, and was the father of those who dwell in tents with livestock. And his brother's name was Jubal. And he was the father of all those who play the lyre and flute. As for Silla, she also bore Tubal Cain, a smith of all kinds of tools of bronze and iron. And the sister of Tubal Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Silla, hear my voice, wives of Lamech. Listen to my words. For I have killed a man for wounding me, even a young man for hurting me. For Cain is avenged sevenfold, and Lamech 70-fold. 77-fold. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son, and called his name Seth. For Elohim has appointed me another seed instead of Abel, because Cain had killed him. And to Seth, to him also a son was born, and he called his name Enosh. Then it was begun to call on the name of Yahweh, the first record of calling on the name of Yahweh. Oh, man, I really don't like footnotes. Chapter 5. This is the book of the genealogy of Adam. In the day that Elohim created man, he made him in the likeness of Elohim. Male and female he created them, and he blessed them and called their name Adam in the day they were created. Because Adam literally means man, or mankind even. Verse 3. And Adam lived 130 years and brought forth a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth. And after he brought forth Seth, the days of Adam were 800, and he brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Seth lived 105 years and brought forth Enosh. Not Enoch, Enosh. And after he brought forth Enosh, Seth lived 807 years and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. And Enosh lived 90 years and brought forth Canaan. And after he brought forth Canaan, Enosh lived 815 years and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. And Canaan lived 70 years and brought forth Mahalalel. And after he brought forth Mahalalel, Canaan lived 840 years and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And Mahalalel lived 65 years and brought forth Jared. And after he brought forth Jared, Mahalalel lived 830 years and brought forth sons and daughters. This is the Jared when scripture talks about in the days of Jared when the flood happens. So all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years and he died. And Jared lived 162 years and brought forth Hanok. And after he brought forth Hanok, Jared lived 800 years and brought forth sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Hanok, see, this is the Hanok from Seth, not the Hanok from Cain. There is two Hanoks, there is two Lamechs. It's confusing, but I used to nerd out on genealogy, and I was very tripped up by this, but you can look into it for yourself. But this is Hanok from Seth. And Hanok lived 65 years and brought forth Methuselah. And after he brought forth Methuselah, Hanok walked with Elohim 300 years and brought forth sons and daughters. And all the days of Hanok were 365 years. And Hanok walked with Elohim, then he was no more, for Elohim took him. That's a topic that we're not going to touch on today because we could talk at length about that. There's a lot of speculation that has been made over this verse. Mental note: we'll talk about, did Enoch go to heaven, or does it say he walked with God? Verse 25. And Methuselah lived 187 years and brought forth Lamech. So Methuselah is, in fact, the oldest person who ever lived, according to biblical history. And obviously, nobody lives that long now. And Methuselah lived 187 years and brought forth Lamech. And after he brought forth Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Methuselah were 969 years. 969 years, and he died. That's an old person. And Lamech lived 182 years and brought forth a son and called his name Noah, saying, This one does comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands because of the ground which Yahweh has cursed. And after he brought forth Noah, Lamech lived 595 years and brought forth sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old. But Noah brought forth Shem, and Noah was 500 years old, and Noah brought forth Shem, Ham, and Japheth. That is very old to be having children, according to modern times at least. And it came to be when men began to increase, one of the most fascinating chapters of the Bible, chapter 6 of Genesis. And it came to be when men began to increase on the face of the earth and daughters were born to them, that the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, that they were good, and they took wives for themselves of all whom they chose. Okay, who are the sons of Elohim? Anybody in the chat believe that those were the watchers or the fallen angels? Does anybody have that same persuasion? Some are not too old for having kids. JS Genesis or JS Badger. That's hilarious. Yep. Yep. Okay, Moose Run says yes. You guys are still with me? All right. Okay, and so it says that they began to increase. The sons of and daughters were born to them. The sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men that they were good, and they took wives for themselves of all whom they chose. And Yahweh said, "My spirit shall not strive with man forever in his going astray. He is flesh, and his days shall be 120 years." Facts. It's pretty much what we see today, right? The oldest people that live don't really surpass that age. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days. Okay, Nephilim, these are the descendants of these guys. Okay, the Nephilim fall in some translations because we know the im in Hebrew is plural, just like Elohim. Interesting. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterward, when the sons of Elohim came into the daughters and of men, and they bore children to them. And Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every inclination of the thought of his heart was only evil continually. These people didn't even have a moment where they weren't perverse in mind. And Yahweh was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and he was grieved in his heart. And Yahweh said, "I am going to wipe off man whom I have created from the face of the ground, both man and beast, creeping creature and birds of the heaven, for I am sorry that I have made them." But Noah found favor in the eyes of Yahweh. This is the genealogy of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, perfect in his generations. Noah walked with Elohim. So now we have Enoch and Noah, who walked with Elohim. And Noah brought forth 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, or Japheth. And the earth was corrupt before Elohim, and the earth was filled with violence. And Elohim looked upon the earth and saw that it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. And Elohim said to Noah, "The end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And see, I am going to destroy them from the earth." Excuse me. Make for yourself, excuse me. Make for yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark and cover it inside and outside with a covering. Sorry. Pitch or tar. And we know from the archaeological dig that Ron Wyatt excavated that there was, in fact, layers of wood laminated and held together with tar or pitch. Verse 15. And this is how you are to make it. The length of the ark is 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. Make a window for the ark and complete it to a cubit from above, and set the door of the ark in its side. Make it with lower, second, and third decks. And see, I myself am bringing floodwaters on the earth to destroy all flesh, in which is the breath of life from under the heavens. All that is on the earth is to die. And I shall establish my covenant with you, and you shall come into the ark, you and your sons, and your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And of all the living, of all flesh, 2 of each you are to bring into the ark, to keep them alive with you, a male and a female. Now, is that 2 of each animal? My son's knocking things over. 2 of each animal, or 2 of each, a male and a female. 2 of each male and 2 of each female. I believe it's 2 of each male and 2 of each female. So 4 of each kind, 2 pairs. That's what I believe. Just stick with me though. Of the birds after their kind, and of the cattle after their kind, and of all creeping creatures of the ground after their kind, two of each are to come to you to keep them alive. As for you, take of all food that is eaten and gather it to yourself, and it shall be food for you and for them. And Noah did according to all that Elohim commanded, so he did. And Yahweh said to Noah, come into the ark, you and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. Of all the clean beasts, take with you 7 pairs, a male and his female. And of the beasts that are unclean, 2, a male and his female. See, this is 7 pairs, a male and his female. So that would be 14. Okay. And all the beasts that are unclean, 2, a male and his female. Are we talking 7 pairs? And then we're not talking 2 pairs? Of all the clean beasts, take with you 7 pairs, a male and his female. And of the beasts that are unclean, 2, a male and his female. And the KJV reads different, just maybe it seems that way in the KJV. I could be wrong. I have been wrong a couple times in my life. Jokes. Okay. Verse 3. And of birds of the heavens, 7 pairs, male and female, to keep offspring alive on the face of all the earth. And after 7 more days I am sending rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and shall wipe from the face of all the earth all that stand that I create. And Noah did according to all that Yahweh commanded him. Now Noah was 600 years old when the flood waters were on the earth. So what that makes his children roughly 100 or so. And Noah and his sons and his wife and his Noah and his sons and his wife and his sons, Noah and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives, just keep reading, went into the ark because of the waters of the flood. Of the clean beasts and of the beasts that are unclean, and the birds and all that creep on the earth, 2 by 2 they went they went into the ark to Noah, male and female, as Elohim had commanded them. And it came to be after 7 days that the waters of the flood were on the earth, and the 600 years in the 600th year of Noah's life, presumably on his birthday, that's or in that year, it doesn't necessarily mean on his birthday, but in the 600th year of his life, in the second new moon, the 17th day of the moon, very specific, on that day all the foundations of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of the heaven were open. And the rain was on the earth 40 days and 40 nights, which is significant, of course. On that same day, Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wives, and the 3 wives of his sons with them, went into the ark, they and every life form after its kind, and every beast after its kind, and every creeping creature that creeps on the earth after its kind, and every bird after its kind, every bird of every sort. And they went into the ark to Noah 2 by 2, all the flesh in which is the breath of life. 2 by 2, meaning the male and his female. The male and his female. And those going in, male and female, of all flesh, went in as Elohim had commanded him, and Yahweh shut him in. And the flood was on the earth 40 days, and the waters increased and lifted up the ark, and rose high above the earth. And the waters were mighty and greatly increasing on the earth. The waters were mighty and greatly increased on the earth, and the ark moved about on the surface of the waters, and the waters were exceedingly mighty on the earth, and all the high mountains under all the heavens were covered. The waters became mighty, 15 cubits upward, and the mountains were covered, and all flesh died. The creeping creatures on the earth, birds and cattle and beasts, and every swarming creature that swarms on the earth, and all mankind, all in whose nostrils was the breath of the spirit of life. All that was on dry land died. So he wiped off all the, so he wiped off all that stand, which were on the face of the ground, both man and beast, creeping creature and bird of the heavens. And they were wiped off from the earth, and Noah was left, and those with him in the ark. And the waters were mighty on the earth 150 days. And Elohim remembered Noah and all the beasts and all the cattle that were with him in the ark. And Elohim made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters subsided. And the fountains of the deep and the windows of the heavens were stopped, and the rain from the heavens was withheld. Did you guys know that the heavens have windows? That's what it says there. Verse 3, and the waters receded steadily from the earth, and at the end of the 150 days the waters diminished. And in the seventh new moon, the 17th day of the new moon, the ark rested on the mountains of Ararat. Note, mountains of Ararat. Doesn't say mountain or Mount Ararat. And that's precisely where they found Noah's ark, is in the mountains of Ararat. Verse 5. And the waters decreased steadily until the 10th new moon. In the 10th new moon, on the first day of the new moon, the tops of the mountains became visible. And it came to be, at the end of 40 days, that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent out a raven, which kept going out and turning back until the water had dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove from him to see if the waters had receded from the face of the ground. And the dove found no resting place for its feet, and returned to the ark to him. For the waters were on the face of all the earth. So he put out his hand and took it and pulled it into the ark to himself. And he waited yet another 7 days. And again he sent the dove out from the ark. And the dove came to him in the evening, and see, a freshly plucked olive leaf was in his mouth. And Noah knew that the waters had receded from the earth. And he waited yet another 7 days, and sent out a dove, which did not return to him again. And it came to be in the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the new moon, that the waters were dried up from the earth. And Noah removed the covering from the ark, and looked, and saw the surface of the ground was dry. And on the second new moon, on the 27th day of the new moon, the earth was dry. And Elohim spoke to Noah, saying, Go out of the ark, you and your wife, and your sons' wives with you. Bring out with you every life form of all flesh that is with you, of birds, of cattle, and all creeping creatures, the creeping creatures on the earth, and let them teem on the earth, and bear the increase on the earth. So Noah went out, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him, every beast, every creeping creature, and every bird, whatever creeps on the earth, according to their kind, went out of the ark. So real quick, some people will try to claim what I'm saying has nothing to do with this right here. But some people will try to claim that it wasn't until after the flood that man was permitted by Yah to eat animals. You might have heard that. I would argue that if he told him, specified how many clean animals and how many unclean animals to bring onto the ark, that there was already a clear differentiation between animals you can eat and animals you cannot eat. So that may not be a strong argument. I think that it is, but clean and unclean was already established before they got on. Anyways, let's keep reading. Verse 20. And Noah built a slaughter place to Yahweh and took of every clean beast and of every clean bird and offered ascending offerings on the slaughter place. And we know from what we read in the book of Numbers and Deuteronomy and Leviticus and Exodus that most of the time they were making an offering that became a meal. Okay. Verse 21. And Yahweh smelled a soothing fragrance. And Yahweh said in his heart, never again shall I curse the ground because of man, although the inclination of man's heart is evil from his youth, and never again strike all living creatures as I have done. As long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. Wah, 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 wah. Climate change. Look at this, you guys. As long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. Trust God or man. Verse 1, chapter 9. And Elohim blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and increase and fill the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you is on every beast of the earth, on every bird of the heavens, on all that creeps on the ground, and on all the fish of the sea. Into your hand they have been given. Every creeping creature that lives is food for you. I have given you all as I gave the green plants. But do not eat flesh with its life, its blood. Let me back up. I want to gloss over this. Every creeping creature that lives is food for you. Okay? Why would he say this? I would submit to you that that's because when they were on the ark, they were not allowed to eat the animals. Because if they had ate the animals, then they would have caused extinction within that kind of animal. Now that these animals are out and repopulating, I have given you all as I gave the green plants, okay? That's my stance. Okay, I'm giving you lots of opinions. I understand that. Please, uh, just disagree peaceably in the chat. If you disagree, that's iron sharpens iron. I can take it. A fool hates you when you correct him, but a wise man loves you, okay? I love you. But do not eat flesh with its life, its blood. No blood. We see that in the New Testament as well, right? But only your blood for your lives I require. From the hand of every beast I require it, and from the hand of man. From the hand of every man's brother I require the life of man. I'm sorry. I need to read that again, but I didn't really quite understand it, to be honest. I'm going to read it again. But only your blood but only your blood for your lives I require. From the hand of every beast I require it, and from the hand of man. From the hand of every man's brother I require the life of man. Didn't take the second time either. Let's move on. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood is shed, for in the image of Elohim he has made man. As for you, be fruitful and increase, bring forth teemingly in the earth and increase it. And Elohim spoke to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you, and with every living being that is with you, of the birds, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, of all that go out of the ark, every beast of the earth. And I shall establish my covenant with you, and never again is all flesh cut off from the waters of the flood, and never again is there a flood to destroy the earth. And Elohim said, this is the sign of the covenant which I make between me and you, and every living being that is with you for all generations to come. I shall set my rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be for the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. You guys don't hate the rainbow that God made. That is his covenant between him and us. Okay. I know that these perverts on the earth are trying to claim the rainbow, but it's not theirs to claim. That's between him and us, that he's not going to flood the earth again. Okay. The rainbow is a beautiful thing. Every time you see one in person, does it not just inspire awe when you see it? It's amazing. And it shall be when I bring a cloud over the earth, and the rainbow shall be seen in the cloud. And I shall remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living being of all flesh, and never again let the waters become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the rainbow shall be in the cloud, and I shall see it, to remember the everlasting covenant between Elohim and every living being of all flesh that is on the earth. And Elohim said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth. And the sons of Noah who went out of the ark were Shem and Ham and Japheth. And Ham was the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah, and all the earth was overspread from them. And Noah, a man of the soil, began and planted a vineyard. And he drank of the wine of the and was drunk, and became uncovered in his tent. You know, give this guy a break. He probably used to be able to handle it before all that time on the ark. And then it was just like, his tolerance was way down or something. All right, I joke, but seriously, let's keep going. Verse 22. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. And Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on both their shoulders, and went backwards and covered the nakedness of their father. But their faces were turned away, and they did not see their father's nakedness. Some will say that this is to see their father's nakedness has something to do um, with like sleeping with his wife, but I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened there, but it was no small sin. Okay. Some people speculate that he did worse than that, and I'm not even going to go into it. Verse 24. But there's something going on there. You'll have to kind of admit that, right? There's something going on there. He didn't just like accidentally see his dad naked. And well, let's just keep reading. And Noah awoke from his wine, and he knew what his younger son had done to him. And he said, cursed is Canaan, let him become a servant of servants to his brothers. And he said, blessed be Yahweh the Elohim of Shem, and let Canaan become his servant. Wait, Canaan? Yes, he cursed his child. Look, he cursed Canaan. But Ham was the one that did this, right? He knew what his younger son had done to him. This is Ham. And he cursed Canaan. Let him become a servant of servants to his brothers. And he said, blessed be Yahweh of Elohim of Shem, and let Canaan become his servant. And Elohim enlarged Japheth, and Elohim enlarged Japheth, and let him dwell in the tents of Shem, and let Canaan become his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. So all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Oops. This is the genealogy of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Hawa, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tiras. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Riphath, and Togarma. And the sons of Hawa, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, Dodanim. From these, the coastland people of the nations were separated into their lands, everyone according to his language, according to their clans, into their nations. Huh. This is the first time I've ever seen this. separated into their lands, everyone according to his language. To be completely honest, I thought that language was all the same historically up until um, the story of the Tower of Babel. Um, let's just keep reading. Sorry. Everyone according to his language, according to their clans, into their nations. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mitzrayim, and Put, and Canaan, and the sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Sabta, and Rama, and Septaka, and the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. And Cush brought forth Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before Yahweh. Therefore it is said, like Nimrod, the mighty hunter before Yahweh. Where is he quoting? He was a mighty hunter before Yahweh. Therefore it is said, like Nimrod, the mighty hunter before Yahweh. It's a question that hopefully we can answer in the future. Verse 10, and the beginning of his reign was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. Now, how many times have we read this and glossed over it? Nimrod, the mighty hunter before Yahweh, the beginning of his reign was Babel. Not just Babel, but also Erech, which, kind of sounds like erection, honestly. And that's kind of like, because it has to do with that word, actually. And not in the sense of a phallus, but anyways, sorry, made it weird. Akkad and Calneh in the land of Shinar. From that land, he went to Ashur, not Asher, but Ashur, which is not a good land or man, and built Nineveh and Rehoboth, Ir, and Keilah. So he's responsible for lots of cities, right? And reason between Nineveh and Keilah. So we all know about Nineveh, right? And the great city and Keilah. I don't know what that is in the KJV, but it's the great city. And Mitzrayim brought forth Ludim, uh, Anamim, Lehabim, and Taphtuhim, and Pathruzim, and Calzuhim, from whom came the Philistines and Caphtorim. So we know by this point, with at least right here, because we know that Goliath was a Philistine and he was a giant, that somewhere in here, we got this giant bloodline taking root again after the flood. Because it says, right, there were giants before the flood and then after the flood. And Canaan brought forth Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite, and the Arwadite, and the Samarite, and the Hamathite. And afterward the clans of the Canaanites were spread abroad. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon as you go toward Gerar, as far as Asa, as you go towards Sodom and Gomorrah, and Admah and Sibaim, as far as Lasha. These were the sons of Ham, according to their clans, according to their languages, in their lands, in their nations. Yeah. And and also Shem, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth, the elder children were born. The sons of Shem, Elam, and Asher, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram, and the sons of Aram, Uts, and Hul, and Gether, and Mash. And Arphaxad brought forth Shelah, and Shelah brought forth Eber. And Eber, and to Eber were born two sons, the name of one, Peleg, for in his days the earth was divided. Peleg. I always say Peleg. That's never a good thing. And his brother's name was Yoktan. And Yoktan brought forth Almodad and Shalef and Hatzarmaweth and Yera. And Hadoram and Uzal and Dikla and Obal and Abimael and Sheba and Ophir and Huela and Yobab. All these were sons of Yoktan, and their dwelling place was from Misha as you go toward Sephar, a mountain of the east. These were the sons of Shem according to their clans, according to their languages, in their lands according to their nations. These were the clans of the sons of Noah according to their genealogies, in their nations, and from these the nations were divided on the earth after the flood. Okay, and now we're getting straight into the Tower of Babel story. And all the earth had one language and one speech. Okay, so the earth did have one language and one speech, and I could have been confused because in chapter 10, it's really genealogy. It's not necessarily chronologically telling us the whole story. So we'll kind of fill in the blanks when we pick up reading in chapter 11. I'm gonna quit sharing my screen now. Come back over here. Um, Looks like we got some good messages here. It will be determined whether they're good or not, but some good feedback. That's what I meant. Yes, yes. Richard Barber, I agree. The Book of Enoch explains the windows of heaven, kind of. I would second that exactly the way you said it. it's it's still above my understanding. I haven't studied the Book of Enoch deeply, but I have listened to it a couple times on audio. Um, we are going to dive into Enoch after we finish this Bible reading um, journey. I'm a little off tonight, guys. I don't know if you noticed that. Um, but Bob and you need to coordinate. Bug out, Bob. Bob, refuge, Bob. I'm going back in here. I didn't. Bob and me. Is that who? Yeah. You're a dork. Lucia says Bob from VeggieTales. No, she didn't say it as a question mark. She's like definitively Bob from VeggieTales. That's who you need to coordinate with. Most definitely. I knew Arkansas was in the Bible. He looked out the Arkansas. Nice. I love dad jokes. I'm gonna use that one. All right, I'm way back in the chat, obviously, but they weren't allowed to go fishing right away either. Uh, they only had 2 worms. Oh my. Well, never mind. Worms reproduce asexually. They might have gone fishing once. Oh my. I wonder if man stopped eating the unclean animals, if those animals would be able to clean up the damage man has done. I wonder if man stopped eating the unclean animals, if those animals would have been able to clean up the damage man had done. I don't know, man. I don't think so because they were Nephilim and they were eating they were eating everything that man was producing. And when they ran out of food, they were eating the men and the women and the children. And then they were defiling all beasts. I believe that that was like stuff I'm really not even willing to talk about like right now. Just all the stuff, all the worst stuff that you can imagine. They were doing it. I don't think so. I don't think man can I don't think that would fix anything at this point. Um I've heard that the name of ham is translated as forbidden meat. Hmm. Is that another dad joke JS Genesis designs because ham is forbidden meat? I can't tell sometimes. Arabic, uh, Sumerian, and Hebrew, quite possibly, with the original languages. It did seem, but it could have been without um a solid understanding of the chronology of events because we were just getting genealogy. We would have to kind of parallel the genealogy, have a timeline of based on genealogy along with um, the following chapters. I think because we just went through a lot of history just reading the genealogy, right? We went all the way up to a bunch of way past Nimrod, descendants. So, and now we're kind of backtracking, so to speak, and picking up in the Tower of Babel. So, um, I don't know that the genealogy accurately represents kind of our timeline. Jo, shalom, brother. All right, James Weber, shalom. All right. So yeah, I'm catching up on these messages. Historically, you know what? Not one Arab was ever referred to as a Palestinian until 1964. Palestinians are Arabs, not another race or people. Oh, Bob went live a while ago. Yeah, I should connect with Bob, see if we can collab, have him on our channel or vice versa. I'd love to do a feature on his channel as well. Represent Sanctified over there and talk to the people. Oh, where is my hairbrush? JS Badger. uh Oh no, did you ruin your coffee? Or your tea? Across the table with Bob is live. Well, you know what? We're wrapping this up, so let's go head over and hang out in Bob's chat. Um, Ham is a radio guy. James, oh my goodness, you guys are so good. There's a lot of dad jokes here today. Keep them coming. I love those. I'm gonna keep some of those in my back pocket for later. Oh, the serious. Okay, the ham was a serious thought. The forbidden meat. I don't. I have no idea. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe that's why we call ham today. Um, Here's a joke for you, Nathan Butler. What's up, Nathan? Who was the first addict in the Bible? Um, man, I don't know. Who was it, Nathan? I don't know. Anybody got that answer? Nebuchadnezzar. He was on grass for 7 years. Oh, nice. That's a fact that he did eat grass. He acted like an animal. He was I think I remember hearing in scripture that he even, like, was growing, like, feathers. Is that right? Am I wrong? Am I just making that up? I don't know. You're welcome for the reading, Moose Around Coffee. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys, reading the Bible. Love doing this. Love doing it even more with you guys here. Um, let's bomb Bob's chat with sanctified links. Do it. We could use all the support. No, we should go over there though. And so we'll jump off here and I'm gonna go crash Bob's live stream real quick. You guys want to join me? Hey, wait, let's get a link to it real quick so that everybody that's in here. Hey, JS Genesis or JS Badger, you two are like legit what do you call that? Blue Wrench moderators. Could one of you guys throw the um link to Bob's live stream in the chat so we can go over there? I don't know how to do that. I might lose you if I click off this page. But we'll just go over there and we'll go give Bob some love. It's not like it's gonna make a huge difference. We've got like 9 people, but and half of us probably will go over there. You guys should all do it. Every one of you. Click the link. What? Okay, there's the link. Thank you, JS Genesis Designs. I love you guys. All of you. I appreciate you all for being here. We will get back on the live stream on Friday evening. I'll jump on here probably right around the time the sun's setting, and we'll bring in Shabbat with some scripture readings. All right, shalom, guys. Click that link. Let's go say hi to Bob. All right, take care.